And right now, concerning the question that if Revit supports the calculation or not, and another question which is asked many times is, are we allowed to design in Revit or not, in Revit structure actually. Actually, indeed, in Revit we do modeling, not designing, and actually it doesn't matter what it is. You can create models, for example, like this. In a way, in Revit you cannot design, but you are allowed to load. Some loading features have been added to Revit. Since then, you can import your loads, partial, linear, or facial, or combinations of them, like to say wind or earthquakes, and so on. And after that, to deal with the analysis or designing, you should either export it to the EDAPS software or robot structure analysis. First of all, if you want to import your Revit file into EDAPS software or the primary model which you have modeled based on your experience, and then we transfer the file to EDAPS and then export the updated file to Revit when you were done with it. And since EDAPS belongs to a different company, you need to use the plugin of named CSIX Revit. In this way, CSIX Revit. Actually, this should be downloaded based on some special versions. For example, if you are using Revit 2021, then you have to install CSIX Revit 2021, since they are dependent to each other. And actually, since some of the versions of CSIX Revit are cracked, so we may have some problems and difficulties finding this plugin and then use it. So we will reach to an dead end while using EDAPS in these occasions. But you can solve this problem by just using older versions, like to say 2018 or 17, in which you can find the plugins. Or we can work with IFC, but we are not allowed to revise. And about robot structure analysis, since it is made by Autodesk, indeed the plugin is installed within Revit in a way that we can finish your primary model in Revit, concrete or metal, and then you can export it to the software of robot structure analysis to do your analysis. Even you are allowed to set reinforcing bars and connection in Revit, and then you can export it to Revit again. And for the shop drawings of the metal frames, then you can connect it to advanced steel, and after creating the shop drawings you can transfer it to Revit again. So the cycle of integration is getting done very well. On the contrary, in EDAPS the integration process is not that much easy, but actually EDAPS, currently EDAPS is used for an analysis, so you may find some difficulties in using other softwares concerning the confirmation you want to get for your structure from the references. You just need to check the confirmed software for doing the analysis. In general, the process is very interesting in a way that knowing at least a few things in this field can be very helpful for those who are using Revit structure, advanced steel, and stuff like that. And actually, according to the gradual development of the technology of BIM in many organizations, in companies, and as it's been expanding in many different kinds of fields, my prediction is that the robot structure and analysis may be confirmed by organizations and be considered as the main software for analysis. And if it did happen, it would be great because of the sync between them. So this was a simple comparison, but actually don't forget that I just don't wanna label softwares as good and bad, since each of the softwares are good and functional in their fields, and as you know, it just only depends on the user to just recognize the most useful software for his job. For example, like to say a person who wants to do modeling structures and some general things without getting involved in shop drawings. So in this condition, there's no need to deal with Tekla or advanced steel or just thinking about numbering or documentations and stuff like that, since Revit satisfies him. But a user who wants to create shop drawings from the metal structure plans, Tekla or advanced steel would be his or her first choice, since Revit does not do this, but he or she can learn Revit as an option or advantage, but not expecting Revit to do shop drawings, since currently is impossible, but he or she can use it in concrete items, which is wonderful. So it has its specific function.